Okay, so spreadsheets, right?
Spreadsheet.
Not exactly the most exciting topic at first glance, I'll admit. But hear me out on this one, because we're not just talking about, rows and columns and formulas.
Yeah.
This is about a tool that's basically taken over like the entire world.
Totally.
One formula at a time.
It's true. It's everywhere. Especially, especially Excel, right?
Oh, yeah.
Businesses, finance, you name it. Even scientific research.
Absolutely. And I'm willing to bet that pretty much everyone listening to this deep dive uses Excel in some way.
At some point, yeah.
Right. Even if it's just for, figuring out that monthly budget.
Right.
But here's the thing, right? How many of us actually know the story behind it? Where did this whole thing even start?
Right.
Give us the history lesson.
Yeah. So the funny thing is, it didn't actually start, where you'd think it'd start, Silicon Valley, right?
Okay.
It actually started in a classroom, Harvard Business School, back in the 1970s.
Wow. Okay. So we're talking like some professor got tired of red ink and decided to invent a digital alternative or something.
Uh-huh.
Is that what happened?
Not quite. So it was actually a student,
Oh, wow.
Daniel Bricklin.
Okay.
And he came up with this idea for the very first electronic spreadsheet
Uh-huh.
called VisiCalc.
VisiCalc. Okay.
Yeah. So back then, imagine, no spreadsheets, right?
Yeah.
Financial forecasting. It was all done by hand.
Oh, my God.
Hours of calculations, erasing, rewriting figures.
It's just a nightmare. I can barely use a calculator, let alone do that.
Exactly. So Bricklin, he was trying to solve this problem.
Okay.
He wanted a program that could automate all those calculations. You change one number and boom, the entire sheet updates instantly.
Okay, I'm starting to see where this is going. This is
Yeah.
starting to sound a little more like the Excel we know and maybe tolerate today.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a digital interactive financial model.
Okay. So how did VisiCalc then go from this classroom idea to like the world's first killer app?
Well, that's where Bob Frankston comes in. He was a programmer teamed up with Bricklin.
Okay.
And they brought VisiCalc to life. 1979, they released it, and it was a huge success.
1979. Wow. So this is before the first IBM PC even?
Yeah, you're right. It was actually first released for the Apple II.
Apple II. Oh,
Which was a pretty big deal back then. Some people even say that VisiCalc being so popular actually helped sell the Apple II.
oh, wow.
It was like the must-have software.
Wow. So a spreadsheet was driving computer sales?
I know, right?
That's wild.
Yeah.
But it really shows how groundbreaking this idea was.
Yeah.
It wasn't just about making calculations easier. It was like a totally new way to picture, visualize that data, work with it.
Exactly. It was revolutionary. But of course, the story doesn't end there.
Oh, there's more.
Oh, yeah.
Of course there's more.
VisiCalc had some competition.
Right, because everyone and their mother probably tried to get in on that action.
That's right.
Okay, so we've got VisiCalc shaking things up, but this spreadsheet revolution, it's just getting started. So where do we go from here? What's next?
Well, remember how we were talking about those early PCs? Like the Apple II?
Yeah.
Those they weren't exactly speed demons,
Right.
compared to what we have today. And speed, that was a big deal back then.
Right.
And that's where our next contender comes in. Lotus 123.
Okay, Lotus 123. Okay, you have to refresh my memory on that one. What was their big thing?
Speed.
Okay.
Pure and simple. They knew that as spreadsheets got bigger, more complex, even like a little bit of extra speed made a huge difference.
Right.
Plus, they added things like keyboard shortcuts, macros, anything to speed up those repetitive tasks.
Shortcuts. The eternal quest to save those precious seconds. So did they take down VisiCalc then? Is that what happened?
They definitely shook things up, but the story's not over yet.
Okay.
Because this is where a little company called Microsoft enters the picture.
Microsoft.
1985, they released their own spreadsheet software.
Excel.
Okay,
so this is like peak PC era, right?
Yeah.
But still, going up against Lotus 123, that seems like a bold move.
It was a gamble, for sure. But Microsoft, they had a few tricks up their sleeve.
Okay, like what?
First, they designed Excel specifically for PCs.
Okay.
Which were quickly becoming, the most popular type of computer. Lotus 123, it was originally for a different operating system, so they had to play catch-up.
Okay, so timing was key there. But come on, there's got to be more to it, right? Excel had to have something special to really stand out.
They did. Remember how we talked about VisiCalc and how visual it was?
Yeah.
Well, Microsoft took that even further. They introduced something called a graphical user interface,
Okay.
a GUI.
A GUI. Now that rings a bell. That's like what we use today, right? With like the icons, the menus, all that, instead of typing in commands and stuff.
Exactly. Think about it. Back then, most people, they were used to interacting with computers through these like clunky command line interfaces.
Yeah, right.
You had to memorize all this code just to do like the simplest things.
Not very user-friendly.
Not at all. So Excel with its GI, revolutionary. Suddenly, spreadsheets weren't just for, programmers and tech wizards.
Right.
Anyone could use them.
Okay, so more user-friendly. Makes sense. But Microsoft didn't stop there, did they?
Microsoft. They had another trick.
Okay.
Bundling.
Bundling.
They packaged Excel with their other software, Word, PowerPoint, what we now call Microsoft Office.
Right.
So even if you weren't actively looking for a spreadsheet, boom, you got Excel anyway.
It's the classic bundle and conquer strategy, right?
Exactly. Smart. So convenience wins out. Okay, so we've got the timing, the user-friendliness, the bundling. But was Excel actually, just a better spreadsheet?
Oh, yeah. They kept innovating, adding features, improving performance. Remember how Lotus 1-2-3 was all about speed? Well, Excel actually surpassed them. They came up with this really clever thing. It would only recalculate the cells that were affected by a change.
Oh.
Instead of recalculating the entire spreadsheet.
Oh, so much faster.
So much faster.
Okay, so smarter, not harder.
Exactly.
Okay, so with all that, did Excel just wipe out the competition?
It took time, but they steadily gained market share. By the 90s, Excel was the top dog.
Wow.
And, well, it's kind of been that way ever since.
So we've gone from these like hand-calculated nightmares to, the rise of the digital spreadsheet. It's a whole like epic battle for supremacy.
It really is.
VisitCalc, Lotus 1-2-3, and then Excel comes out on top. But is that the end of the story? You'd think so, right? You'd think so, right, with a story like that. But the thing is, tech, it never sits still.
Right.
So as much as Excel's been on top for like forever, there's a new player in town, or should I say a new algorithm.
The AI revolution.
Exactly.
Yeah. It feels like it's everywhere we look these days. But how does it stack up against something, as established as a spreadsheet?
Well, that's the question, isn't it? I
Right.
mean, on the one hand, you've got Excel.
Yeah.
It's this incredibly powerful tool, right? Millions of people know it like the back of their hand. It's familiar.
It's comfortable, yeah.
Reliable.
Like a trusty pair of jeans or something.
Exactly.
Mm.
But then you have AI coming in promising to do everything faster, smarter,
Right.
less effort.
Way less effort.
Yeah.
So are those trusty jeans about to be like traded in for something, a little more cutting edge?
It's possible. I mean, imagine this. You're struggling with some crazy VLOOP formula, right? Or a pivot table. And instead of all that, you just ask your AI assistant, like in plain English.
Right.
Hey, can you pull up the sales trends for last quarter? But just for, products in the Northeast.
Right.
And boom, the AI goes and sifts through all that data.
Okay.
And spits out these like beautiful charts and graphs.
No more late nights hunched over the computer trying to find that missing parenthesis.
Exactly. And don't forget, AI, it lives for these massive data sets, the kind of stuff that would make Excel, choke. We were talking about analyzing customer behavior, predicting trends, even like optimizing whole supply chain.
Right. The stuff that would take like days or weeks to do manually.
Exactly.
Okay, so AI definitely has like the speed, the data crunching power.
Yeah.
But people are creatures of habit, right?
Yeah.
Are we really going to see people just completely abandon Excel?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because there's always a learning curve with something new.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, knowing Excel, it's like a badge of honor in some places.
Oh, yeah.
Plus, some people, they like seeing how the sausage is made, you know what I mean?
Right.
There's a certain transparency with Excel.
You know exactly what's going on, how it's, yeah.
Exactly.
It's like I don't know, baking a cake from scratch versus just buying one.
Perfect analogy. And then there's, data privacy, security, all that.
Right.
Which, when you're talking about AI, it gets a little murky.
It's a black box.
Exactly. So, yeah, I think there are reasons why people might be hesitant to switch.
Okay. So where does that leave us then? Is Excel doomed?
Doomed. I don't know about doomed.
Okay.
It's more like, how does it adapt? Right? Maybe Excel embraces the AI.
Oh, interesting.
Starts incorporating these smart features.
Okay.
Becomes even more powerful.
A bit of a plot twist. So, what do you think out there, listeners? Are you team AI?
Yeah.
Ready to let the algorithms take over? Or are you sticking with your trusty spreadsheets?
Let us know. We'd love to hear from you.
This has been a fascinating dive.
It really has.
Always a pleasure chatting with you.
Always great to be here.
Until next time.